got some major 80s that are running around that Zetor has had for, I'm going to say close to 10 years now, that were very, very similar. This is the new design version of that major 80. One of the nice things that, I don't know if it's nice, but it's kind of a cool fact anyway, Pininfarina, who designs the bodies for Ferrari, is who designed the body of this tractor. It's designed by Pininfarina. It's got a cool look to it. The hood, the cab, it's kind of a slick little tractor. We've got this now. Zetor has started putting this loader on them. This is a European-built loader. The loader is up to any other class-size tractor we got. The loader is a lot of value for what it is. There's very few loaders that come into the United States or that you can get on a North American tractor that are set up the way this one is. This one already is a self-leveling loader. This already has auxiliaries up on the front, comes standard with the new series tractor with this new European loader on it. This tractor, to meet Tier 4 emissions on the majors, they do not have Zetor's engine in them anymore. On this series, this has a Deutz 4-cylinder engine in it. Been extremely tough engine. It's a bulletproof little engine. Works good, starts good, runs good, everything you want it to do. It's just a Deutz instead of a Zetor. Doesn't hurt anything on it. I'm a fan of Deutz's engine. They build a very good engine. This is a liquid-cooled, not an air-cooled, but it's a good setup on there. Inside the cab, this is still a major Zetor. It's going to be the lowest trim package that we sell in a Zetor, but it's a nice tractor for the value. It does a very good job being 85 horsepower. 540 and 1,000 PTO, 2 sets of auxiliaries, 12-speed shuttle transmission. It's just a very well set up little tractor that does a good job for us. This rake here is going to be a new rake from Enorossi. This was new, Mitch, what, last year? So this is called a Maximus. This is the big brother to all of the other rakes that we've sold for a long time. We've sold a lot of the carted rakes for a long time that have done a really good job, but this one here, it's a little bit more money, but it has a lot more options on it, does a lot more things. This would be more of a rake that a little bit higher capacity, a little bit higher acreage. If a guy's got a little bit more ground to cover, this rake here will do quite a bit more than what the standard rakes will do in whether it is in one of our bat rakes or in one of the H&S rakes. The big deal with this rake that makes it, for our country, Western Colorado side, that makes this rake considerably better is having the tandem set of wheels on the rear end. By doing that, they cross the corrugates infinitely and abundantly better than the other rakes do. They don't have that bounce in them all the time. There's still a little bit of bounce in it, but it's nothing like what they used to be on just the single wheels. This rake also switches from having, you'll see in the next two that we bring in, when you fold the rake arms down, the rakes are pulling the wheels, which in turn puts this main beam on the front side of this, pulling the rake. Instead of this one here, the rake beam is behind it, pushing the rakes. In heavy crop of a dry crop, oat hay, straw, anything that's kind of dry and cumbersome, you can run the risk of, when that stuff's coming down through here with the front-mounted beams, it plugging up. In this area here, it'll plug up. You'll start dragging a bunch of hay behind you. You've got to lift it up, and it'll kind of go shooting out the back, and you got to try to clean it up and fix it up. That is what the old style of rakes, or the smaller rakes, do on that bigger crop sometimes. This rake here will not do that. It will not ball up. I don't think you could get this one to ball up if you tried. It also is hydraulically extended for your windrow width. So you can adjust that rear windrow width just by sending the cylinders out both sides, one way or the other. It's got turnbuckles here that adjust your windrow width in the back. Or, I'm sorry, the front width back here, you're going to adjust windrow hydraulically. Very, very, very user-friendly rake. It's a big rake. We sell this rake as a 14, but if we want a 12, this part comes off. You can add another part to it as well if you want to make it a 16 wheel up here on the front. It's another bolt-on option. But right now, if you wanted it to be a 12 wheel, we would sell it to you without these front extensions on both sides. Kicks it into a 12 wheel. If you wanted 14, we'd leave it. If you wanted a 16, we'd get 2 more and put on the front of it. Like I said, it's a pretty universal rake that does a lot of different things. The other deal with this rake, this is a 100% independent rake. Each wheel is independent from the other one all the way down on both sides. They are independently adjustable. If you want more ground pressure on the front, less ground pressure on the rear, you can set it that way. If you want more ground pressure on the back, less ground pressure on the front, you can set it that way. It comes with a little wrench that goes on here, and you switch these springs for pressure up, pressure down. With this setup that we've got, you can also use this as a turn and rake. So if you want to just turn one windrow on one side, these cylinders have valves on them. You can use either side of the rake. You can let, as you have both of the sides up, close one of the valves and it'll let the other side down, and you can just use one side if you want to use it to turn with. This rake, I thought I had a price tag on it. I think this rake is around $12,000. Is that where it is? Yeah, so I got this rake for $10,000. 10.7, I think is what it's on there. It's a new one. If we get a new one like this, 13-ish for a new Maximus. This one is a year old. We demoed it last year. It's also going to get demoed today a little bit. But if you are looking for a higher capacity, pretty high-end rake without spending a lot of money on it, this would be one of the best ones that we've got at the moment. You can see how much adjustment this rake has. This rake has a lot of adjustment on it, all from the cab. As far as hydraulic, I mean, you can grab 2 feet on each, or about 1.5 feet on each side of that. But when you look at a lot of the other rakes, this one, when we bring it in, it will, when you go to raise them up and let them down, usually one side comes up, one side goes down. This does have a splitter valve in it, so it is equal up on both sides, down on both sides.
If you like videos like this, make sure to subscribe.